Although the year started out promising with the return of Edge, 2020 soon became a year for wrestling fans to forget. Not only were live audiences not allowed, the pandemic led to the release of many in-ring WWE talent.
You're fired!
This is Wrestling Up, and here are wrestlers fired by WWE in 2020 and where they are now. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Up and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. When the Revival were released from WWE in early April, fans were not shocked. The team had been asking for their release and had been teasing moves to AEW. They had disagreements with Vince McMahon about plans of proposed characters and were soon taken off TV and released on April 10th, and later began appearing in AEW as FTR. There they've been tag champions and are in the promotion's newest faction, the Pinnacle, with MJF, Tully Blanchard, Shawn Spears, and Wardlow. Curt Hawkins, aka Brian Myers, was one of many released from WWE on April 15th of 2020. Prior to his release, he was starting to find his footing with Zack Ryder after they reunited as a tag team. He appeared for Impact on July 21st and even later challenged for the world title. At Sacrifice on March 13th, he faced Eddie Edwards and is currently signed to the company. Zack Ryder, aka Matt Cardona, too was released April 15th and first appeared in AEW, then showed up at Impact for No Surrender and the event following that. More recently, he's been teasing a feud with Curt Hawkins. In his free time, he's been training with his partner Chelsea Green as she gets ready to return to the ring in WWE. Not everyone who was let go April 15th left for good. Upon receiving news of his release, Maverick took to Twitter for an emotional farewell. Presumably, WWE noted his passion, and during the rest of his scheduled tapings, the former 205 Live GM found himself hired to NXT by Triple H. He's been a part of the program, teaming with Killian Dane and even having a recent match against Walter. In 2020, Maria Kanellis announced her second pregnancy. WWE worked it into a storyline that the baby was not actually Mike's, as Maria took every opportunity to humiliate her husband, before claiming it was Rusev's. Then the even weirder Bobby Lashley-Rusev Lana romance and betrayal started. In April, Mike and Maria were released. Mike has worked in Warrior Wrestling, NWA, and Ring of Honor. Meanwhile, Maria has not wrestled, but was a part of the experience where fans can talk about ROH online. The Colognes last wrestled for WWE and SmackDown on January 8th in 2019 and were let go on April 15th. Even prior to their release and after they've been in their father's promotion, World Wrestling Council. Epico recently posted a pic together with Andrade in February prior to his release from WWE. Axel was not released on April 15th, but 15 days after, and has not wrestled since. He did post about missing his dad recently, and about watching the Super Bowl on Twitter. He congratulated Edge and Christian following the Royal Rumble, with fans expecting him to be at wrestling events after the pandemic dies down. Erick Rowan was in a team with Daniel Bryan, helping Bryan hold the WWE title. He was later given a solo run where he had a mysterious cage, which turned out to have a mechanical spider in it. Drew McIntyre destroyed it, and Rowan was released April 15th. He's been a part of the NWA VXS shows, but he was also a part of AEW shows in honor of his late tag team partner Brody Lee. Rusev, aka Miro, had been asking for his release and was not signing the new contract offered. He was taken off TV without a proper conclusion to his feud with Lashley before his release. In the end, he joined AEW as Kip Sabian's best man. In his free time, Miro streams on a regular basis and may be thinking of starting a podcast. Heath Slater was released in April after 10 years in WWE and was even brought back for a one-off match for the WWE title against Drew McIntyre, and has since appeared for Wrestle Pro Union, Talk and Shop, and mostly for Impact, even becoming XICW Tag Champions with Rhino. Since their WWE release on the 15th of April, the Good Brothers have held the Impact Tag Belts, only recently losing them to Finn Juice at Sacrifice. Despite Anderson Gallows being a part of the main event of WrestleMania, helping AJ Styles against The Undertaker only a few weeks before, they had issues with Paul Heyman, who apparently gave their names up for a release. Currently, they're making appearances in AEW with Kenny Omega, as a part of Impact's partnership with the company. After the mass release in April, Eric Young made his way to Impact for Slammiversary and went on to win the world title. Currently, he's gone through a change in demeanor and appears to be in some sort of a cult, which was named Violent by Design. He has since added Rhino to the group as well. The hype surrounding former UFC champion Cain Velasquez did not last in WWE. His match against Brock Lesnar failed to impress, and his feud was scrapped after he suffered an injury. He was released on April 28th and has not been too active, but he's been sponsoring different charities, including Endangered Rangers and Athletes for Arizona. Kurt Angle was released after his retirement match the year before. Even following his release, WWE offered him a deal and wanted him to manage Riddle. Angle refused to focus on his health, but was a special guest referee in the Fight Pit match between Riddle and Timothy Thatcher. He is in great shape and started a podcast, The Kurt Angle Show. EC3 never received the push he deserved in WWE. If his NXT run was underwhelming, his showing on the main roster was a disaster, with him hardly even having matches on Raw or SmackDown. He was released in April as well and made it clear he was happy to be leaving. He started to air videos about a change to himself and later appeared for Impact at Slammiversary as he would face Moose Slater for the TNA title. Since then, he's made a return to Ring of Honor and signed with them. He's faced Jay Briscoe and recently defeated Jay Lethal. He also advertises nutritional supplements on Instagram and has started to air sinister promos with the subject being Free the Narrative. After his release, Lio Rush teased retirement. He ended up in Game Changer Wrestling, losing to Joey Janela, then returned again and defeated ACH. Since then, Rush has been very active. He's stayed away from AEW but has been involved in New Japan and MLW. He was a part of the Super J Cup and had a feud with Phantasmo, but lost at New Japan Strong. In MLW, he defeated Myron Reed to become middleweight champion. Since then, he's defeated Brian Pillman Jr. and won the AAA Cruiserweight title from Laredo Kid. Aiden English had taken a step back from his in-ring career, as he was appearing as a commentator on 205 Live then SmackDown. Since his release in April, he's been wrestling under his real name Matthew Raywalt. He made an in-ring return in September of 2020, defeating Nick Brubaker at Zero Wrestling. He has also been streaming gaming content on Twitch and works with Heroes and Legends Wrestling Promotion, where fans of big-name wrestling promotion alumni gather. Akam and Razor were a top tag team on NXT. Then they went to the main roster, lost their manager Paul Ellering, and had continuous injuries. They were in a faction with Seth Rollins, but Razor's bicep injury got him pulled off programming, and both were released in September. Neither have wrestled since. While Akam aka Sunny has posted on social media, out and about enjoying himself at restaurants, Razor has taken on the name the Albanian Psycho. However, he is yet to post since his release. No Way Jose was a partying star in WWE but was a victim of company-wide cuts. He has started taking bookings, and on March 6th he announced he is going to be a father while showing a picture of an ultrasound of his kid. Another released from WWE in April was Sarah Logan, soon after she announced she would be stepping away from the ring for the foreseeable future, and even announced a YouTube channel with her husband Eric of the Viking Raiders. Soon enough, she said she was pregnant and gave birth to a son named Raymond Cash Rowe. She also did filming for Ronda Rousey's Ronda on the Road series. She is currently working on getting fit and has been posting online about her interest in activities like hunting. Zelina Vega had been a regular part of WWE TV. After being split from Andrade and Garza, she was just beginning to focus on her solo run. Unfortunately, that did not work out. She was still streaming on Twitch, going against a third-party ban from WWE. With that and her opening an OnlyFans for cosplay, the company released her in November. She's been active online, but has not really been wrestling. When Andrade was released, she tweeted in support and shared fan art. The two worked together on NXT and the main roster so they could reunite. And these were wrestlers fired by WWE in 2020. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.
This is a